You'll notice he no longer suffers delusions of humanity.
Affirmative.
Who the hell is interrupting my kung fu?
Has editing your content become a burden, or you just don't have the skill set?
I wish I could focus on content production, but post-editing takes so much time and effort.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
We'll look no further. Here at Asylum 99 Studios, I can help you create professional quality videos that will be sure to captivate viewers. With my creativity and skill, along with your content, assets, and ideas, I can bring your vision into the simulation. I offer the following services: video clipping and organization, content creation, VFX, SFX, and motion graphics, intro and outro assets. Requests may be taken upon further discussion. So if you're a content creator, short on time because you're out living your best life, or you wish you could focus all your energy into producing content, reach out to Asylum 99 Studios today.
What are you waiting for?
What am I waiting for? What am I waiting for?
Don't settle for mediocre videos. Hire me as your freelance video editor and create videos that meet your standards. Asylum 99 Studios. Release your creativity.
Hello. We ask that you forgive the technical difficulties in today's transmission. We are working hard to bring you a better audio experience in the future. Thank you for your consideration. I will now connect you to patient 99's feed. Stand by.
Trigger warning. You are about to enter the TomaHawk rage room. If you're a faint of heart, or you just a pussy-ass motherfucker, turn back now. You've been warned.
So welcome back, tribe. We're here for part 2 of Zuckerberg on the hot seat. So I ain't gonna waste your time. You already know what we're here to do. We're gonna get into it. Alright, so we got the Gun Brigade back up in the batter's box. We got Howley and Butch and Mitch Mitchelson in the background. Let's get it.
Mr. Zuckerberg, let me start with you. Did I hear you say in your opening statement that there's no link between mental health and social media use?
Senator, what I said is I think it's important to look at the science. I know it's people widely talk about this as if that is something that's already been proven, and I think that the bulk of the scientific evidence does not support that.
Well, really, let me just remind you of some of the science from your own company.
Before he starts droning on, if you're going to engage with the media, you need to be in control of your own faculties. You need to be able to think for yourself. Because as life has showed us, and the state of society has showed us, mindless use of any kind of media, whether it be social media or traditional media, is bad. And it leads to us having to have goddamn hearings like this.
Instagram studied the effect of your platform on teenagers. Let me just read you some quotes from the Wall Street Journal's report on this. Company researchers found that Instagram is harmful for a sizable percentage of teenagers, most notably teenage girls. Here's a quote from your own study. Quote, "We make body image issues worse for 1 in 3 teen girls." Here's another quote. "Teens blame Instagram," this is your study, "for increases in the rate of anxiety and depression. This reaction was..."
Because they ain't got no goddamn parents around to give them some goddamn character.
"Unprompted and consistent across all groups." That's your study.
Senator, we try to understand the feedback and how people feel about the services we can improve.
Wait a minute, your own study says that you make life worse for 1 in 3 teenage girls. You increase anxiety and depression. That's what it says, and you're here testifying.
It's not that IG makes their lives worse. Women aren't happy with themselves, or I'm gonna say females generally aren't happy with themselves. So they go around searching for what they think they should look like and act like and all this other stupid bullshit that's destroying the world. And that's what it is. Mark Zuckerberg didn't do that to you.
But it's your weak mind, baby, that gets you into trouble.
You just don't do no mirror work and you don't like what you see when you do glance in the mirror. That's the fucking problem here. You don't need to look like every other woman on the planet. You need to look like you, stupid.
Find to us in public that there's no link. You've been doing this for years. For years, you've been coming in public and testifying under oath that there's absolutely no link. Your product is wonderful. The science is nascent, full speed ahead, while internally, you know full well your product is a disaster for teenagers. And you keep right on doing what you're doing. Right?
Not true.
Listen to the legion of bot-horror parents in the back clapping. Yeah, it's not our fault. It's Mark Zuckerberg's fault. Raggedy motherfuckers.
That's not true.
Let me show you some other facts I know that you're familiar with. Wait a minute. That's not a question. That's not a question. Those are facts, Mr. Zuckerberg. That's not a question.
Those aren't facts.
Let me show you some more facts. Here's some information from a whistleblower who came before the Senate, testified under oath in public. He worked for you, the senior executive. Here's what he showed he found when he studied your products. So, for example, this is girls between the ages of 13 and 15 years old. 37% of them reported that they had been exposed to nudity on the platform unwanted in the last 7 days.
If you go back into his statements, the only way that teenage thotty can get Johnson pics in her DMs is if she lied about her age and she's using the adult Instagram. That means that if she was doing what the fuck she was supposed to be doing, playing by the rules, these degenerates wouldn't be able to put Johnson in her DMs. If her parents were worth a damn, she wouldn't have Johnsons in her DMs. She wouldn't be getting blackmailed with nudes. Comprende? Moving on.
24% said that they had experienced unwanted sexual advances that had been propositioned in the last 7 days. 17% said they had encountered self-harm content pushed at them in the last 7 days. Now, I know you're familiar with these stats.
It wasn't pushed at him.
That's because he sent you an email where he lined it all out.
Y'all forget we've lived through an era where these crazy broads were cutting themselves. Y'all forgot about that shit, didn't y'all? Pepper's Farm remembers.
I mean, we got a copy of it right here. My question is, who did you fire for this? Who got fired because of that?
Senator, we studied all this.
So you want him to send somebody home in the Joe Biden economy jobless because some young girl wanted to do what she wanted to do and she put herself in harm's way. That's Mark Zuckerberg's fault, right? Now, don't get it fucked up. I don't like Zuckerberg either. But it's not his fault your daughter's a whore. Okay? It's your fault as the parent. And since it's 2024, that's mainly because there ain't a lot of fathers in homes no more, and they're being alienated from their children's lives, and this is really their mama's doing. But that's a whole other video for a whole other day.
Because it's important and we want to improve our services.
Well, you just told me a second ago you stated that there was no linkage. Who did you fire?
Yeah, I said you mischaracterized.
37% of teenage girls between 13 and 15 were exposed to unwanted nudity in a week on Instagram.
Because they were doing things they had no business doing, using the adult Instagram when they are so-called underage.
You knew about it. Who did you fire?
Senator, this is why we're building all.
Who did you fire?
Senator, I don't think that's.
Who did you fire?
I'm not going to answer that.
You didn't fire anybody, right?
Howie, you a fucking gump, bro.
You didn't take any significant action.
It's appropriate to talk about
it's not appropriate
decisions.
Do you know who's sitting behind you?
The parents of young prostitutes in training. That's who's sitting behind Mark Zuckerberg.
You've got families from across the nation whose children are either severely harmed or gone, and you don't think it's appropriate to talk about steps that you took? The fact that you didn't fire some of the...
Watch somebody lose their job because parents don't want to be parents. Listen, people, you don't live in a world of rainbows and unicorns, right? Sunshine and happy and all that shit. This is the fucking Thunderdome. Your kids getting taken up out of here due to your lack of supervision. That blood is on your hands, not on Mark Zuckerberg's hands, and not on social media's hands. Your hands.
Come with me if you want to live.
Let me ask you this. Have you compensated any of the victims?
Sorry.
What the fuck is compensation gonna do? Once again, the money ain't gonna bring your kid. You people are sick. So you neglect your children. You don't raise them the way they need to be raised, nurtured and reared the way they need to be nurtured and reared. And now, to cover up for your incompetence, you want a settlement from a tech billionaire. You people.
What do you mean, you people?
You people are sick.
What do you mean, you people?
Huh? Have you compensated any of the victims? These girls, have you compensated them?
I don't believe so.
Why not? Don't you think they deserve some compensation for what your platform has done? Help with...
The platform didn't do anything. That fast-ass child was out doing shit she ain't had no business doing. And that sus-ass son, because don't get it fucked up. There's so-called male victims in this too. You parents have failed your children.
Counseling services help with dealing with the...
And thus failed humanity. Through your delusions.
Delusions, Mr. Wordsworth. Delusions.
Issues that your services cause.
Our job is to make sure that we build tools to help keep people safe.
Are you going to compensate them?
Senator, our job, and what we take seriously, is making sure that we build industry-leading tools to find harmful content, take it off the services,
to make money,
and to build tools that empower parents.
So you didn't take it.
Sir. He's a business. An arm of the CIA. But still a business. Because to be honest with you, I don't think Zuckerberg's the mastermind behind all this shit. He's just a puppet. Just saying.
Any action, you didn't take any action, you didn't fire anybody, you haven't compensated a single victim. Let me ask you this. There's families of victims here today. Have you apologized to the victims?
Sorry, everybody. Sorry you're a shit parent and your kids turned out to be degenerates that got harmed due to your negligence.
Would you like to do so now? Well, they're here. You're on national television. Would you like now to apologize to the victims who have been harmed by your product?
Boy, it's a sad world when y'all got me out here taking up for goddamn Zuckerberg. Not in all facets, but like when I'm out here speaking on Zuckerberg's behalf, this world is fucked up.
Show them the pictures. Would you like to apologize for what you've done to these good people?
Mark Zuckerberg didn't do anything to you. You just ain't shit.
Look at you. You lost it all, Turkey.
And that's the long and short of it.
And this is why we invested so much in our you doing extremely efforts to make sure that no one has to go through the types of things that your families have to suffer.
You know, why, Mr. Zuckerberg?
That is the most cut and paste fucking apology I've ever heard in my life. But you know why? It's because Mr. Zuckerberg actually doesn't have anything in this instance to apologize for. It is not his fault that you suck.
Why should your company not be sued for this? Why is it that you can claim you hide behind a...
You gonna sue me because your lack of parenting led to your daughter selling her body on the internet. And that's my fault because I made a website. It's the world we live in, folks.
Liability shield, you can't be held accountable. Shouldn't you be held accountable personally? Will you take personal responsibility?
Senator, I think I've already answered.
Y'all know Mark Zuckerberg has kids, right? I think. I do know he's married. I think he has kids. Whether he does or he doesn't matter. Why does he have to come out his own? Is the federal government gonna come out their pockets for Tuskegee? Is the federal government gonna come out of their pockets for Epstein Island? Those the pockets I want to see getting run around here. And another thing. Get ready, ladies. Some strays getting ready to come your way. Don't think we don't know about the moms who pimp their daughters. I see you, bitch. I see you. And I know y'all do it.
Whoever did this is gonna pay. I can promise you that.
I mean,
We'll try this again. Will you take personal responsibility?
Senator, I view my job and the job of our company as building the best tools that we can to keep our community safe.
Well, you're failing at that.
Well, Senator, we're doing an industry-leading
He's doing better than the federal government.
effort. We build AI tools that...
Your product is killing people. Will you personally commit?
Damn, Facebook and IG's out here killing niggas, y'all. Are we gonna compensate the victims of people who get gunned down on Facebook Live too? Is that Mark Zuckerberg's fault too?
To compensating the victims, you're a billionaire. Will you commit to compensating the victims? Will you set up a compensation fund with your money?
These are
with your money.
Senator, these are complicated.
Yes, that's not a complicated question. That's a yes or no. Will you set up a victims compensation fund with?
If I was Mark Zuckerberg, I'd have looked that punk ass bitch dead in his eyes and said no.
Your money, the money you made on these families sitting behind you. Yes or no?
Senator, I don't think that's my job.
Sounds like a no.
Good tools. My
Sounds
job
like
is
a
to
no.
make sure that
Your job is to be responsible for what your company has done. You've made billions of dollars on.
I've yet to hear what they've done. I've only heard wanton accusations. Y'all have yet to tell me what Mark Zuckerberg did. He didn't do anything. He gave you the tools to keep your kids safe. What else can he do, bro? What else can he do? Seriously, what else can he do? At what point are we gonna point the finger where it belongs?
The people sitting behind them, you hear, you've done nothing to help them. You've done nothing
Fuck
to
them!
compensate them. You've done nothing to put it right. You could do so here today, and you should. You should, Mr. Zuckerberg.
This is the phoniest bullshit I've ever subjected myself to in the past week. All right, You got the Japanese Hawaiian Mazi Hirono. Let's get it.
Zuckerberg, will you commit to reporting measurable child safety data on
No shade at Japan. Y'all know I rock with y'all.
your quarterly earnings reports and
I knew.
calls?
Senator, it's a good question. We actually already have a quarterly report that we issue and do a call to answer questions for how we're enforcing our community standards. That includes not just the child safety issues. And
So is that a yes?
we have a separate call that we do this on, but we've let
Well, I
the
think that you have to report your earnings to the SEC. Will you report to them this kind of data, and by numbers, by the way, because Senator Koo said, and others have said, percentages don't really tell the full story. Will you report to the SEC that a number of teens, and sometimes you don't even know whether they're teens or not because they just claim to be adults. Will you report that the
So what the fuck are we talking about?
number of underage children on your platforms who
They get banned, stupid!
experience unwanted CSAM and other kinds of messaging that harm them? Will you commit to citing those numbers to the SEC when you make your quarterly report?
Well, Senator, I'm not sure it would make as much sense to include it in the SEC filing. We file it publicly so that way everyone can see this. And I'd be happy to follow up and talk about what specific metrics. I think the specific things that some of the ones that you just mentioned around underage people on our services, we don't allow people under the age of 13 on our service.
So what we talking about? Yo fucking stupid ass is not watching your kids, and your kids is out here trying to be grown, like they used to say back in my day. Stay in a child's place, right? It's a sick world, boy.
So if we find anyone who's under the age of 13, we remove them from our service. Now, I'm not saying that people don't lie and that there aren't anyone who's under the age of 13 who's using it, but we're not going to be able to count how many people there are, because fundamentally, if we identify that someone is underage, we remove them from the service.
I think that's really important that we get actual numbers, because these are
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch!
human beings. That's why all these parents and others are here, because each time that a young person is exposed to this kind of unwanted material and
they're exposing themselves,
they get hooked, it is a danger to that individual. So I'm hoping that you are saying that you do report this kind of information to, if not the SEC, that it is made public. I think I'm hearing that, yes, you do. So.
Yeah, Senator, I think we report more publicly on our enforcement than any other company in the industry. And we're very supportive of transparency measures.
I'm running out of time, Mr. Zuckberg, so I will follow up with what exactly it is that you do report. Again, for you, when Meta automatically places young people's accounts, and you testified to this, on the most restrictive privacy
this shit is giving me a real live headache.
And content sensitivity sessions, and yet teens are able to opt out of these safeguards. Isn't that right? It's not mandatory that they remain on these settings. They can opt out.
Senator, yes, we default teens into a private account so that they have a private restricted experience, but some teens want to be creators and want to have content that
they want to be fast and grown.
They share more broadly, and I don't think that that's something that should just blanketly be banned.
Why not? I think it should be mandatory that they remain on the more restrictive settings.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch!
Listen here. Ma'am, what good is that going to do if the fucking kid is just gonna lie about their age? The shit you're asking for requires facial recognition. In theory. Okay? Let's get back to it.
Senator, I think that there's
somewhere.
a lot of teens create amazing things, and I think with the right supervision and parenting and controls.
Thank you. And you notice how she just laughed at that? Y'all heard that smirk? She's laughing. What do you mean parenting? Parenting, bitch. Oh, but good parents ain't gonna line your pockets. Forgot about the school to prison pipeline. Have the kids gang banging and have the young girls out here selling their body.
I think that's like, I don't think that's the type of thing that you want to just not allow anyone to be able to do. I think you want to make it so that...
My time is up, but I have to say that there is an argument that you all make for every single thing that we are proposing. And I
Because you spend 99.9% of your time proposing bullshit.
share the concern that I have about the blanket limitation on liabilities that we provide all of you. And I think that has to change. And that is on us, on Congress, to make that change. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
No, it is not on Congress to make that change. That's on the parents. Next up is Ricardo Diaz. Wait. Excuse me. Padilla. Wait. Padilla. Sorry.
Mr. Zucked. Across all of Meta services, from Instagram, Facebook, Messenger, Horizon, how many minors use your applications, and of those minors, how many have a caretaker that has adopted the parental supervision tools that you offer?
Sorry, I can follow up with specific stats.
Okay, it would be very helpful, not just for us to know, but for you to know as a leader of your company. And how, same question, how are you ensuring that young people and their guardians are aware of the tools that you offer?
We run pretty extensive ad campaigns, both on our platforms and outside. Work with creators and organizations like Girl Scouts to make sure that this is broadly that there's broad awareness of the tools.
How many times are you going to ask these motherfuckers that? Every one of these CEOs told y'all they got tools for these punk-ass parents to police their children. Okay? Moving on. Next up, John Kennedy. Out of Louisiana. Let's go.
Mr. Zuckerberg, let me ask you a couple of questions. Might wax a little philosophical here. I have to hand it to you. You have convinced over 2 billion people to give up all of their personal information, every bit of it.
Stop. No. And I'm not defending Facebook, but no, bro. He didn't convince anybody to do anything. Okay? Motherfuckers signed up on Facebook of their own free will. I know Facebook is an arm of the government, and I still sign up to use it.
I don't care about none of it, nigga.
Stop. I don't know what the agenda is here, throwing these social media giants under the bus right now. I'll probably figure it out in a little bit with some more research. But this is not the way, bro. This ain't the way.
In exchange for getting to see what their high school friends had for dinner Saturday night. That's pretty much your business model, isn't it?
It's not how I would characterize it.
I'm making the same face mark. There's something wrong with these motherfuckers, bro. You ain't my bro. Just a turn of phrase.
And we give people the ability to connect with the people they care about and to engage with the topics that they care about.
And you take this information, this abundance of personal information, and then you develop algorithms to punch people's hot buttons.
You punch your own buttons. Pause.
And send and steer to them information that it punches their hot buttons again and again and again to keep them coming back and to keep them staying longer.
But it's your weak mind, baby, that gets you into trouble.
And as a result, your user
That sounds like the user's fault. Self-accountability, responsibility, whatever word you want to use.
See only one side of an issue. And so, to some extent, your platform has become a killing field for the truth, hasn't it?
I mean, Senator,
while I don't disagree with that, I thought this was about the children, not the data.
I disagree with that characterization. We build ranking and recommendations because people have a lot of friends and a lot of interests, and they want to make sure that they see the content that's relevant to them. We're trying to make a product that's useful to people and make our services as helpful as possible for people to connect with the people they care about and the interests they care about.
But you don't show them both sides. You don't give them balanced information. You just keep punching their hot buttons. You don't show them balanced information so people can discern the truth for themselves.
Now, while that is true, you have to manually go out and search for the other side of the story. It's true that they're going to push the mainstream narrative on you, but you got to have the wherewithal and the will to go out and seek the truth. The truth ain't going to find you. You got to go find it. You understand?
But it's your weak mind, baby, that gets you into trouble.
And you rev them up so much that so often your platform and others becomes just cesspools of snark where nobody learns anything, don't they?
Well, Senator, I disagree with that. I think people can engage in the things that they're interested in and learn quite a bit about those. We have done a handful of different experiments and things in the past around news and trying to show content on a diverse set of perspectives. I think that there's more that needs to be explored there, but I don't think that we can solve that by ourselves. One of the things that I saw...
I'm sorry to cut you off, Mr. President, but I'm going to run out of time. Do you think your users really understand what they're giving to you, all their personal information, and how...
It's called terms and conditions. I'm guilty of not reading them, but there are times when I have read them. It's a lot to read, but if you really care that much, you'll read it. We know most people just accept all and then carry on about their day.
How you process it and how you monetize it. Do you think people really understand?
Senator, I think people understand the basic terms. I mean, I think that there's... I actually think that a lot of people...
Let me put it another way. We've spent a couple of years since we talked about this. Does your user agreement still suck?
I'm not sure how to answer that, Senator.
Can you still have a dead body and all that legalese where nobody can find it?
You mean like how you politicians and legal professionals do?
Senator, I'm not quite sure what you're referring to, but I think people get the basic deal of using these services. It's a free service. You're using it to connect with the people you care about. If you share something with people, other people will be able to see your information. It's inherently, if you're putting something out there to be shared publicly, or with a private set of people, it's, you're inherently putting it out there. So I think people get that basic part of how...
But Mr. Zuckerberg, you're in the foothills of the creepy. You track people who aren't even Facebook users. You track your own people, your own users who are your product, even when they're not on Facebook.
The same way your constituents are your product, Mr. Kennedy.
I'm going to land this plane pretty quickly, Mr. Chairman. It's creepy. And I understand you make a lot of money doing it, but I just wonder if our technology is greater than our humanity. I mean, let me ask you this final question.
Illusions of humanity.
Instagram is harmful to young people, isn't it?
Senator, I disagree with that. That's not what the
Parents not monitoring their kids while they're on Instagram is harmful to young people.
Research shows on balance. That doesn't mean that individual people don't have issues and that there aren't things that we need to do to help provide the right tools for people. But across all the research that we've done internally, the survey that the senator previously cited, there are 12 or 15 different categories of harm that we asked teens if they felt that Instagram made it worse or better. And across all of them, except for the one that Senator Hawley cited, more people said that using Instagram is either positive or...
We're just going to agree to disagree. If you believe that Instagram, I know I'm not saying it's intentional, but if you agree that Instagram, if you think that Instagram is not hurting millions of our young people, particularly young teens, particularly young women, you shouldn't be driving. It is. Thanks.
No accountability, man. And next up to bat, California Democrat. That's very important. None other than LaFonza Miller. Nah, I don't know her. But y'all about to see why my face is straight like this. Let's get it.
Mr. Zuckerberg, have you sat with parents and young people to talk about how you design products for your consumers?
Once again, asking the same ass questions everybody else just asked them.
Yes, over the years I've had a lot of conversations with parents.
You know, that's interesting, Mr. Zuckerberg, because we talked about this last night and you gave me a very different answer.
Euphoria, shut the fuck up. I know that was you. I ain't even got to look. I should send your ass back to Crenshaw P with his hot ass coat hangers, bitch. Would you like that?
In classic Keisha fashion, Zuck, you ain't experienced, buddy. You walked right into that. You can see it by the look at her. Look at the look on her face. She set that nigga up for the okie doke, bro. Look at that, bro. If you a ninja, you know this look, bro. You know this look, bro. I'm not even talking about if you grew up around sisters, you know that look. She was setting you up with the faint bob and weave, and she just popped you in your mouth, bro. Shit.
I asked you this very question.
Well,
I can't do it, bro.
I told you that I didn't know what specific...
This nigga is flustered. He's like, what the fuck? Keisha got this boy fucked up.
Mamma mia.
God damn, this nigga's stumbling over his words. He's like, what the hell just happened? You just got TomaHawk by a nigga. That's what happened.
Processes our company...
No, Mr. Zuckerberg, you said to me that you had not.
I must have misspoke.
Ma'am, this is how I know she wasn't listening. She was in there just cooking up how she was gonna get this nigga. Ma'am, he admitted through all the previous people that asked him the same question that he sat down and he's worked with parents and people. So why you got to get up here, and y'all know how I feel about Democratic niggers.
I should send your ass back to Crenshaw P with his hot ass coat hangers, bitch. Would you like that?
And there's no conservative niggers on Capitol Hill, so this is about to be a fully valid statement. I can't stand a Democratic nigger. Y'all always up there making us look the fuck stupid. This was your chance to stand above your peers and look better than them. And you fucking failed.
But it's your weak mind, baby, that gets you into trouble.
Keep going.
I want to give you the room to misspeak, Mr. Zuckerberg, but I asked you this very question. I asked all of you this question, and you told me a very different answer when we spoke. But I won't belabor it.
With absolutely no proof. All right, part 2. I'm going to try to be quiet. I'm going to try. Can't make no promises.
Mr. Zuckerberg, I want to come back to you. I talked with you about being a parent.
Don't do it.
To a young child.
Don't do it.
Who doesn't have a phone, doesn't, is not on social media at all. And one of the things that I am deeply concerned
Don't do it.
As a parent to a young black girl.
Euphoria, shut the fuck up. I know that was you. I ain't even got to look.
LaFonza, it's your brother Rondo speaking, okay? I want you to listen to me. It is not Mark Juberg's.
Hey, I'm not going to say what race, what people, I can't say that.
It is not Mark Zuckerberg, excuse me. It is, it is not Mark Zuckerberg.
Hey, I'm not going to say what race, what people, I can't say that.
It's not Mark Zuckerberg's job to give our young sisters self-esteem and self-confidence. And this is from the heart. I'm not trying to be funny. That is your job and the job of the man that I know you chased off. And you know why I know you chased him off? Look at that face. Not the color of her face, not the way her face looks. Look at the expression on her face. That's why I know it.
Is the utilization of filters on your platform that would suggest to young girls utilizing your platform the evidence that they are not good enough as they are.
Euphoria, shut the fuck up. I know that was you. I ain't even got to look.
Ma'am, if your daughter's running around using white filter, so-called white filters, that might be your fault for not instilling confidence in your daughter. But we know that that's not what goes down with y'all. For the most part. This isn't a broad stroke. But it's time to put the accountability where it lives. And if you want your daughter to be a proud chocolate sister, it starts with you, LaFonza, not with Mark.
I want to ask more specifically and refer to some unredacted court documents that reveal that your own researchers concluded that these face filters that mimic plastic surgery negatively impact youth mental health. Indeed.
So if that's the case, I should see every single thought rapper, every single video vixen, every supermodel, every actress, every R&B singer on trial here before I see Mark Zuckerberg on trial for this.
I should send your ass back to Crenshaw Pete with his hot-ass coat hangers, bitch. Would you like that?
So we're gonna blame Mark Zuckerberg because our children have identity crises. That's our job. Sickening.
And well-being. Why should we believe that because that you're going to do more to protect young women and young girls when it is that you give them the tools to affirm the self-hate that is spewed?
Filters were supposed to be fun, but y'all women folk decided to use it to hide y'all fucking face and deceive niggas. Okay? Just wanted to throw that out there.
Across your platforms, why is it that we should believe that you are committed to doing anything more to keep our children safe?
How are those filters a danger to your child? The only danger here is that you're letting your child have unrestricted access to said filter and you're not doing the work to let her know that's just not what she's supposed to look like, and that is not what makes your child beautiful. Okay, I had another statement, but I'm gonna let that fly.
So there's a lot to unpack there.
There is a lot of
tools to express themselves in different ways, and people use face filters and different tools to.
If you're so mad about the pale skin filters, LaFonza, why don't you get on all these rich ass niggas ass and tell them to come out with a social media website and they can put some chocolate filters on there? Will you feel better then? Or will you still have something to complain about?
Make media and photos and videos that are fun or interesting across a lot of the different products that
Plastic surgery pens are good tools to express creativity.
That's what these young women are into. Because that's what y'all let them watch on TV. That's what the music y'all let them listen to represents. You know, your Nicki Minaj's, your Cardi He's, your Meg the Broncos, and your Monkey Reds.
I should send your ass back to Crenshaw P with his hot ass coat hangers, bitch. Would you like that?
Senator, I'm not speaking to that.
Enlightening tools are tools to express creativity. This is the direct thing I'm asking
Yeah,
about.
I'm not defending any specific one of those. I think that the ability to kind of filter and edit images is generally a useful tool for expression. For that specifically, I'm not familiar with the study that you're referring to, but we did make it so that we're not recommending this type of content to teens.
I made no reference to a study, to court documents that revealed your knowledge of the impact of these types of filters on young people, generally young girls in particular.
I disagree with that characterization. I think that there's
with
been a
court
I too disagree with that characterization.
documents.
I haven't seen any documents.
Okay, Mr. Zuckerberg, my time is up. I hope that you hear what is being offered to you and are prepared to step up and do better. I know this Senate committee is going to do our work to hold you in greater account. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
What the fuck have y'all offered Mark Zuckerberg but a dry railroading? And two, if that's what your concern was, if that's what you got up on C-SPAN to do, LaFonza, you need to hold yourself to greater account. You are a fucking embarrassment.
Euphoria, shut the fuck up. I know that was you. I ain't even got to look. I should send your ass back to Crenshaw P with his hot ass coat hangers, bitch. Would you like that?
Next up is Azov. That sounds awful Ukrainian, Russian, Ruski to me, but we gonna let that slide. Let's get to it.
Mr. Zuckerberg, I want to begin by just asking a simple question, which is,
with a fake-ass country accent,
do you want kids to use your platform more or less?
Well, we don't want people under the age of 13 using.
Do you want teenagers?
He knew he fucked up, so he tried to remix the question. Y'all are these are our politicians. These are our representatives. These retarded motherfuckers who made me sit through 4 hours of them asking the same questions and getting the same answers. I was just as pissed off as these CEOs. Like, these niggas are wasting my time.
13 and up to use your platform more or less?
Well, we would like to build a product that is useful and that people want to use.
My time is going to be limited, so it's just, do you want them to use it more or less? Teenagers, 13 to 17 years old, do you want them using Meta products more or less?
I'd like them to be useful enough that they want to use them more.
You want them to use it more?
They pulled all the leading questions out of the bag, bro.
I think herein we have one of the fundamental challenges. In fact, you have a fiduciary obligation, do you not?
Ooh, we throwing words like fiduciary around, okay.
To try to get kids to use your platform more.
It depends on how you define that. We obviously are a business, but
I'm sorry, Mr. Zuckerberg, our time is, it's not It's self-evident that you have a fiduciary obligation to get your users, including users under 18, to use and engage with your platform more rather than less, correct?
Over the long term, but in the near term, we often take a lot of steps, including we made a change to show less videos that on the platform that reduced the amount of time by more than 50 million hours.
Okay, but if shareholders ask you, Mark, I wouldn't, Mr. Zuckerberg here, but your shareholders might have been a first name basis with you. Mark, are you trying to get kids to use Meta products more or less? You'd say more, right?
Well, I would say that over the long term, we're trying to get
I mean, let's so the 10K you filed with the SEC, a few things I want to note. Here are some quotes, and this is a filing that you signed, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Our financial performance has been and will continue to be significantly determined by our success in adding, retaining, and engaging active users. Here's another quote. If our users decrease their level of engagement with our products, our revenue, financial results, and business may be significantly harmed. Here's another quote. We believe that some users, particularly younger users, are aware of and actively engaging with other products and services similar to or substitute for ours. Continues in the event that users increasingly engage with other products and services, we may experience a decline in use and engagement in key demographics or more broadly, in which case our business would likely be harmed. You have an obligation as the chief executive to encourage your team to get kids to use your platform more.
They don't have to get kids to use the platform. These stupid ass parents are trying to live celebrity dreams through putting their kids on YouTube. And if they're not doing that, they just let the kid run wild on social media.
Is that not self-evident? You have a fiduciary obligation to your shareholders to get kids to use your...
Alright, Poindexter, we got it. He got a fiduciary obligation. Shut the fuck up and get back to the question.
Platform.
I think that the thing that's not intuitive is the direction is to make the products more useful, so that way people want to use them more. We don't give the teams running the Instagram feed or the Facebook feed a goal to increase the amount of time that people spend.
Yeah, but you don't just use, and your 10K makes clear you want your users engaging more and using more of the platform. And I think this gets to the root of the challenge because it's the overwhelming view of the public, certainly in my home state of Georgia, and we've had some...
Notice he's a Georgia Democrat. What's the state of Georgia right now?
I declare Atlanta free nation.
Discussions about the underlying science that this platform is harmful for children. I mean, you are familiar with, and not...
So then maybe the parents should stop letting their kids use it.
But it's your weak mind, baby, that gets you into trouble.
Just your platform, by the way. Social media in general. 2023 report from the Surgeon General about the impact of social media on kids' mental health, which cited evidence that kids who spend more than 3 hours a day on social media have double the risk of poor mental health outcomes, including depression and anxiety. You familiar with that Surgeon General report and the underlying study?
I read the report, yes.
Do you dispute it?
No, but I think it's important to characterize it correctly. I think what he was flagging in the report is that there seems to be a correlation, and obviously the mental health issue is very important, so it's something that needs to be studied.
Yeah, the thing is, that's everyone knows there's a correlation. Everyone knows that kids who spend a lot of time, too much time on your platforms are at risk. And it's not just the mental health issues. I mean, let me ask you a question. Is your platform safe for kids?
I believe it is, but there's a difference between...
That's like saying is a New York intersection safe for kids.
Man, this is some bullshit!
Let me ask you, because we're not going to be able to get anywhere. We want to work in a productive, open, honest, and collaborative way with the private sector to pass legislation that will protect Americans, that will protect American children above all, and that will allow businesses to thrive in this country. If we don't start with an open, honest, candid, realistic assessment of the issues, we can't do that. The first point is you want kids to use the platform more. In fact, you have an obligation to. But if you're not willing to acknowledge that it's a dangerous place for children, the internet.
I thought that was what without saying. Who logs on to the internet and thinks this place is safe for my child?
Is a dangerous place for children, not just your platform, isn't it? Isn't the internet a dangerous place for children?
I think it can be. Yeah, there's both great things that people can do, and there are harms that we need to work
Yeah, it's a dangerous place for children. There are families here who have lost their children. There are families across the country whose children have engaged in self-harm, who have experienced low self-esteem, who have been sold deadly pills on the internet. The internet's a dangerous place for children, and your platforms are...
Where did your child get money to buy drugs off the internet? And why have you as a parent not told your child that if you try to buy drugs off the internet, you're gonna get ripped off? It's becoming increasingly apparent that most parents don't teach their kids shit. And then be out here pointing the finger at somebody else to take the blame when their kids fuck up or something terrible happens.
Are dangerous places for children. Do you agree?
I think that there are harms that we need to work to mitigate.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna, I think
why not? Why not? Why not just acknowledge it? Why do we have to do the very careful?
I disagree with the characters.
Which character that the internet's a dangerous place for children?
I think you're trying to characterize our products as inherently dangerous, and I think that
inherent or not, your products are places where children can experience harm. They can experience harm to their mental health. They can be sold drugs. They can be preyed upon by predators. They're dangerous places, and yet you have an obligation to promote the use of these platforms by children. But all I'm trying to suggest to you, Mr. Zuckerberg, and my time is running short, is that in order for you to succeed, you and your colleagues here, we have to acknowledge these basic truths. We have to be able to come before the American people, the American public, the people in my state of Georgia, and acknowledge the internet is dangerous, including your platforms. There are predators lurking. There are drugs being sold. There are harms to mental health that are taking a huge toll.
That sounds like 3D reality right now. You don't say that the internet is just a microcosm of the real world. But worse, because people ain't got to stand in front of each other.
On kids' quality of life. And yet, you have this incentive, not just you, Mr. Zuckerberg, but all of you have an incentive to boost, maximize use, utilization, and engagement. And that is where public policy has to step in to make sure that these platforms are safe for kids. So kids are not dying, so kids are not overdosing, so kids are not cutting themselves or killing themselves because they're spending all day scrolling instead of playing outside. And I appreciate all of you.
And who lets them sit inside and scroll instead of sending them outside to play?
Your testimony, we will continue to engage as we develop this legislation. Thank you.
And closing out the batting order. After you battle all the Karens, you gotta go and see the final boss. And today that final boss is Marsha Blackburn. Let's get it.
I want to talk with you about the pedophile ring because that came up earlier. And the
pedophile ring in DC or the made up pedophile ring you're talking about on Facebook?
Wall Street Journal reported on that. And one of the things that we found out was after that became evident, then you didn't take that content down. And it was content that showed that teens were for sale and were offering themselves to older.
Hold up, I'm running back. Pay attention. Y'all just heard it again. Let's do it again.
Were for sale and were offering themselves to older men.
Underage women offering themselves to grown men. Grown men need to be taken out back, and you know what was coming after that. No, sorry. But we need to deal with the fact that young women are out here selling themselves, putting themselves up for sale to be purchased in the first place. That is the root of the problem.
And you didn't take it down because it didn't violate your community standards. Do you know how often a child is bought or sold for sex in this country? Every 2 minutes. Every 2 minutes, a child is bought or sold for sex. That's not my stat. That is a TBI stat. Now, finally, this content was taken down after a congressional staffer went to Meta's global head of safety. So would you please explain to me and to all these parents why explicit predatory content does not violate your platform's terms of service or your community standards?
I have a question, Miss Blackburn. Why are you letting your daughters put their private parts on the internet? That's the question.
Sure, Senator. Let me try to address all the things that you just said. It does violate our standards. We work very hard to take it down.
Didn't take it down.
We've reported, I think it's more than 26 million examples of this kind of content.
Didn't take it down until a
Shut up, bitch, and let him finish the answer.
congressional staffer brought it up.
It may be that in this case we made a mistake and missed something.
I think you make a lot of mistakes. So let's move on. I want to talk with you about your Instagram creators program and about the push. We found out through these documents that you actually are pushing forward because you want to bring kids in early. You see these younger teenagers as valuable but an untapped audience, quoting from the emails, and suggesting teens are actually household influencers to bring their younger siblings into your platform, into Instagram.
So where are their goddamn parents, Marsha?
Now, how can you ensure that Instagram creators, your product, your program, does not facilitate illegal activities when you fail to remove content pertaining to the sale of minors?
Parent your children so your daughter's not out here prostituting herself. You just said it out your own mouth. They selling their own private parts to perverts. What the fuck can Mark Zuckerberg do about that? When it's your job to keep your goddamn daughter off the pole.
And it is happening once every 2 minutes in this country.
Senator, our tools for identifying that kind of content are industry leading. That doesn't mean we're perfect. There are definitely issues that we have, but we continue to investigate it.
Yes, there are a lot that is slipping through. It appears that you're trying to be the premier sex trafficking site.
You see? That's what this whole hearing was about. They're trying to paint social media as the sex traffickers. As if the federal government isn't trafficking children through the border.
Only one man. That's you, Tricky Dick.
As if the federal government doesn't partake in pizza parties. If you know, you know. Mark Zuckerberg's not the pimp here. Your daughters and sons are pimping themselves. Why are they pimping themselves? It might have something to do with the public school system that you lazy ass parents keep letting your kids go to. That's teaching them how to be gay and have pronouns and sell their body and touch themselves and all this other bullshit. That y'all have allowed to seep into public schooling since I've graduated. Okay? Y'all fucking suck.
And it's kind of ridiculous. No, it is
Yes, Mark, it is ridiculous.
not ridiculous. You want to turn
It is ridiculous, you wrinkled up neck bitch.
around and
We don't
tell
want
these
this
people
content on our
that.
platforms.
Why don't you take it down?
Why is it up there, Marsha? Why? Did she see you selling your body? Is that what it is? Like mama like daughter? Is that what this is? Speak up.
I should have known it was you all the time, sucker.
We are here discussing. We need you all to work with us. No, you're not. You are not.
Bro, you know whoever this woman is married to, you know her husband be buying prostitutes. You know it. I can tell. Listen to the... Bro, can you imagine being in a room with this woman for 5 minutes? Besides this, of course, like when nobody's around, like you're her spouse and you're just in the room with her for 5 minutes. Bro, he probably want to blow his brains out.
And the problem is, we've been working on this. Senator Welch is over there. We've been working on this stuff for a decade.
It ain't accomplished shit.
Look at you. You lost it all, Turkey.
You have an army of lawyers and lobbyists that have fought us on this every step of the way. You were.
I'd fight y'all too if y'all trying to label me a child pimp. Are you crazy? I'd fight you niggas too.
Gonna set me up?
With NetChoice, the Cato Institute, Taxpayers Protection Alliance, and Chamber of Progress to actually fight our bipartisan legislation to keep kids safe online. So
Stop letting your kids pimp themselves online.
are you going to stop funding these groups? Are you going to stop lobbying against this and come to the table and work with us? Yes or no?
Senator, do you have a...
Yes or no?
Of course we'll work with you on the legislation.
Okay, the door is open. We've got all these bills. You need to come to
What's in the bill, Karen?
the table. Each and every one of you need to come to the table. And you need to work with us.
So we can shake your motherfucking pockets down.
Kids are dying.
And they're dying because their parents ain't shit. That was the fuck frustrating. Sorry I had to scream. Y'all had to see me lose my cool like that. But that's what goes down here at the TomaHawk Rage Room, bro. I've shown y'all irrefutable proof that the main culprits of this so-called issue that we sitting here listening to is the very people you're trying to paint as a victim. Shouldn't no adults be out here buying pictures for minors? And shouldn't no minors be out here selling pictures to adults? What world is this? Like, what the fuck? Where parents? Bring it in, you raggedy motherfuckers. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? You want to blame Mark Zuckerberg and Shochu for your incompetence? Just so you ain't got to fucking take accountability for not being a good parent? Because I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. Every motherfucker, if I was there and I saw all them parents in the back of their chair, I'd have said the same shit to all them niggas, bro. Y'all ain't shit out here. And that's why I had to leave society, bro. I can't live around you people. I don't want my kids around you people. I don't want my kids around your rugrats. your 3 pronouns, dressing in drag Rugrats. I don't want my kids nowhere near, bro. Y'all ain't shit. And I ain't talking to the tribe. I'm talking to you parents out here letting your kids fucking run amok. Y'all ain't shit out here. Don't forget to fucking like, share, subscribe.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. So say good night to the bad guy. Go on.
I am a human being. I exist.
Delusions, Mr. Wordsworth. Delusions.
Send the word.